Hey guys, it's Mel. Welcome to my channel. Alright, so in today's video I am going to talk to you about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S Thompson. You may have seen from the thumbnail of this video that I don't really understand what on earth I just read. So this isn't really a review so much as me chatting through my thoughts and feelings about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So, first of all, did I like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? I didn't dislike it. I don't know, to be honest with you. I finished reading it yesterday. All up, it took me 2 days to read. It's quite a short book, as you can see, and it's reasonably easy to get through. But I just didn't really understand what was happening, to be completely honest. I don't think you're supposed to entirely understand what is happening. I think that is part of the point of the book. So let's think about this a bit more. I'm not really sure exactly how to talk about this book. I am a person who enjoys a story that maybe doesn't necessarily have a really obvious plot or even necessarily a really obvious point that is being made. So Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is definitely a book like that, and it wasn't that particular nature that left me feeling like I'm not really sure what I read. It's not even the drug aspects of the book, although if you've read this book you will know that that forms a very large part of the book. I have no particular thoughts either way about the drug use in this book. I do have some fairly negative feelings about some of the things that they did whilst on the drugs in this book, but the taking of the drugs, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily advise it, but it's part of life. People do that. I think the two main characters in this book definitely did some pretty messed up stuff while they were on the drugs, and I did not like most of the things they did. Although, having said that, like I've said before on this channel, you don't have to be a great person or you don't have to be doing great stuff for me to decide that I will like or dislike a book. So it wasn't that either. I think that part of the thing that has left me feeling very kind of lost about this book is that that's the intent. I feel like the main character was feeling very lost. They didn't really know why they were in Las Vegas. They didn't really know what they were supposed to be doing. I mean, they had an assignment, but it didn't really go very well, and then they got given a new assignment, but that was kind of just a excuse to be in Las Vegas and take a bunch of crazy drugs. So, plus the fact that they took a lot of really crazy amounts of drugs, different kinds of drugs, mixed them with all sorts of different alcohol, and yeah, that would definitely keep you feeling rather lost, I would think, as well. So definitely I think you're supposed to feel a little bit lost. Yeah, it's just, honestly, it's kind of strange. For anyone that's read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, you will know that the main character is a person called Raoul Duke, and he's the main narrator. And the other main character is someone who is referred to throughout the story as my attorney. They are not given a name. You get the sense that Raoul Duke is perhaps a pseudonym, and you are kind of meant to think that it's a pseudonym for the author, Hunter S Thompson, although you're never actually specifically told that that is in fact who the narrator is or supposed to be, and it's not really specifically stated that this is a memoir or a true story of any sort. So for that reason you kept feeling kind of lost and unbalanced. So yeah, I think the other reason why I kind of felt fairly lost and unbalanced and unsure what to make of anything I was just reading was because I don't tend to really enjoy stream of consciousness, which is definitely how this book was written. It's not a medium that I usually find that I can really particularly get into. Most of the books that I've tried to read that have been written in that stream of consciousness style, I have found quite hard to read, and I've ended up actually not finishing or DNFing a lot of those books. So an example of which is A Clockwork Orange and Trainspotting. Interestingly enough though, I like both of those movies, so it certainly isn't the stories behind the books, but more the style in which they are written. I don't know if I've ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the movie adaptation of this book with Johnny Depp. If I have, it was quite a long time ago, and I didn't really remember much about what was going to happen in the story from having seen the books, so the movie. So yeah, it was all quite a new and novel experience. When I was thinking about what I had just read, I did look up some stuff on the internet, did a bit of research about it. So The Conversation had this to say. American journalist Hunter S Thompson is a mythical figure, partly by his own design and partly, perversely, against his wishes. Norma Mailer called him a legend in successful self-abuse. Biographer E. Jean Carroll reported Thompson's daily working regime, which allegedly started at 3 p.m. While writing, he consumed Chivas Regal, Dunhills, cocaine, orange juice, marijuana, Heineken, huge helpings of food, LSD, chartreuse, clove cigarettes, gin, and pornographic movies. He then spent some time in the hot tub with champagne and Dove bars. The parallels between the Duke persona and Thompson's own life have led to a conflation of the two. This arises in part from the approach which Thompson made famous, gonzo journalism. It then goes on to talk about gonzo journalism. Far from being an objective observer of the action, the gonzo journalist becomes a participant in it and reports on it subjectively. Thompson went further. He was often a provocateur. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was a fictionalized account of two trips Thompson made with his friend Oscar Zeta Acosta from LA to Las Vegas. It was published by Rolling Stone magazine in 1971 under the byline of Raoul Duke, but Thompson's name does appear. Presented with a photo of himself, Duke identifies it as Thompson, a vicious, crazy kind of person. So it then also says, as a reading experience, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a wild torpedo ride through some of the strangest scenes in American fact or American fiction, or whatever bizarre hybrid fact and fiction this book represents, which I would definitely agree with. It is very much a torpedo ride of random stuff that is going on. Like I said, it's told in that stream of consciousness style, and as such, it kind of jumps between various happenings and various situations, and also what is going on in the main protagonist's brain at the time. Yeah. So like I said, this isn't really a review. I'm not going to tell you that you should or should not read this book. It is a classic, and I think that it's a classic for a reason. I think that it definitely is an interesting book. It's definitely telling a lot of interesting stuff. It's giving you quite an interesting eye-opener into some of the sort of more seedier sides of American life and American culture, but I didn't necessarily entirely enjoy my experience. I didn't dislike my experience. I didn't have a bad time reading it, but I just kind of ended up feeling basically like, what on earth did I just read? So on that note, I'm going to leave off there. If you have read this book and you liked it or didn't, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you've seen the movie and you liked it or didn't, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. I would love to know what people make of this book and the story. And yeah, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S Thompson. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.